It's okay to not be okay. So this will be a very different type of recording than you're used to hearing, but it's one I've been wanting to address for a while now. I'd like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. It's a service that can connect you with a certified therapist or counselor pretty much anywhere in the world using your phone, tablet, or computer. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later in the video, but for now, just note this web address, betterhelp.com/Bob Baker. And just so you know, if you end up using their service, I will receive a modest commission. Now, I know that the title of this recording is also the title of a series on Netflix. I've heard it's very good, but this is not about that television show. This is about something that I have heard of and people have brought up to me here and there over the years, and this would be a great time to address it, especially during these days of pandemic and a lot of unrest and changes going on in the world. It seems to be an ideal time to discuss it. So as you probably know, for years now, I have been publishing affirmation recordings and guided meditations on my YouTube channel, and it has grown exponentially, which I'm thrilled about. And the predominant thing that people seem to be drawn to are my morning affirmations or my positive affirmations, where you repeat these positive statements to yourself and it changes your attitude, it lifts your vibration. And if you read through the comments, you see that many people say that their attitude shifts when they listen to these things, that their lives have changed for the better as a result of repeated listenings to these recordings. And I feel very blessed to be able to serve people in that manner. But I want to point out that nowhere in any of those recordings, or to my knowledge in anything I've ever written or recorded or published, have I ever tried to make people feel bad about feeling down or depressed or in a dark space. So I just want to emphasize up front here the title of this recording. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be depressed, to have negative thoughts, to be in a funk, whether that funk lasts for hours, days, weeks, months, or longer. Don't ever beat yourself up about not being positive. It's great that you may aspire to feel that way. You want to live a more uplifting and positive and aspirational life. That's great. But if you're currently not living up to that, please don't beat yourself up and don't feel bad about it. Every human being goes through a roller coaster ride of emotions and circumstances in their life, and our perceptions and our attitudes about our lives do shift and change over time. So before we go any further, let's talk about a range of possible ways that you can feel. This will be very helpful in what I'm about to discuss. But let's use the classic scale of 1 to 10. And let's say that 10 is when you are at your best. You're most positive, you're happy, you're fully present, you feel alive and connected. And that's living your best life. Then on the opposite end of the scale, down at 1, it's when you're having that dark night of the soul, you're depressed, you're in a negative funk that you just can't seem to crawl out of it. So if you are currently experiencing something like an 8, 9, or a 10 on that upper end, you're probably not even listening to this because you wouldn't be seeking it out necessarily, unless you're doing it for a friend. But if life is generally going well, you probably didn't make the effort to seek this out. Now, if you're on the other end of that spectrum, on the lower end, I want to point something out, that I am not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not certified in any way to deal with mental, physical, psychological issues with people. I'm just a regular person like you who wanted to share my affirmations and my positive, inspirational spoken word, and have been blessed enough to attract an audience who has benefited from it. So I just want to say, if you are really on that low end where you are in a funk that you can't get out of, And especially if you're having thoughts of doing harm to yourself or other people, please, by all means, seek out help. Talk to a friend, a family member, seek out a professional therapist, or get some help if you're that low. Don't just rely on a recording like this or affirmations or books to bring you out of that, because you just might need some extra help to get you through this, and that too is okay. This would be a great time to tell you a little bit more about BetterHelp. Again, it's a global service that will match you with a therapist certified to provide therapy and counseling on whatever specific issue you are going through. They offer very affordable monthly plans, and financial aid is available for those who qualify. And like I said, it's available worldwide, and you can connect with your therapist by computer, tablet, or mobile phone using video, voice, or text messages. Even I, at low points in my own life, have benefited greatly from speaking with a professional. So if you're really having a tough time, don't try to power through it alone. Visit betterhelp.com/Bob Baker. And again, if you end up using the service, I will receive a modest commission that won't affect your rate at all, but it will help support my efforts to create more videos like this one. So you'll probably benefit from this recording the most if you consider yourself in like the 3 to 6 range on that scale. You're somewhere in the middle where you know that life has more to offer, but you've been in some kind of a funk or a low point, and you're frustrated that you can't seem to get yourself out of it. And so when you're in that state, you may have a different reaction to my affirmations, or just affirmations or positive thinking in general. There are times when you try to say these statements to yourself: I am happy, I am abundant, I am thriving, and it just doesn't feel authentic, and it actually sometimes can make you feel worse than better. I was surprised to find there's actually a term that's been used. It's called toxic positivity, where experts are saying that seeking out this positive thinking or just brushing over your negative thoughts can actually have an adverse effect and not serve you. I think that really depends on the person and where you are mentally as to how that will affect you. But I agree, if you're having some serious issues, if you've lost a partner, a relationship just broke up, your business just closed down, someone you love just passed away, or you lost a family pet, there's a health crisis with you or a loved one, or you've gone through a drastic change in your life, these are all things that can trigger negative emotions and stress and frustration. And so I would never recommend that you just gloss over these things with, I'm fine, I'll get over it, just think positive. No, please don't bury those things, don't cover them up. You have to acknowledge them and root them out a little bit to be able to move past them. So just a couple of quick tips related to affirmations or changing your attitude that may be helpful related to this topic. One is you have to make sure that any statements or any self-talk that you use with yourself feels authentic. So if you're in the depths of depression and you say, I am happy, your brain's going to start sending off warning signs and going, what are you talking about? No, you're not. And that could potentially make you feel worse. So in cases like that, you may have to adjust the way that the affirmations are worded so that they feel more honest and authentic based on where you are at that moment. So while I am happy may not work in those instances, maybe I am ready for a new chapter in my life. Because that would ring true, would it not? When the time is right, I am open to raising my vibration. That might feel better for you in those moments. So that's one thing that you can do, is just write out or seek out affirmations that accurately reflect where you are in any given moment or any given day. And another thing that you can do in general is something that I call baby steps to joy. So let's say for some weeks now you've been at a 3 or a 4 on that emotional, that positivity scale, and you're frustrated by it and you feel down. It's not realistic to try to jump to a 9 or a 10 in one single swoop. It's too much of a leap. You're not ready for that. But could you move from a 3 to a 4? Could you just inch your way and slightly improve your vibration or your attitude or the way you're looking at things? Baby steps. I think that one of the best ways that you can do that is expressing gratitude. Just taking time each day to acknowledge the people and the things in your life that you're grateful for. Because I do believe that no matter how bad things are, there are things that you can be thankful for. Is your body still working? Do you still have a place to sleep? Do you have transportation? Do you have people in your life who care for you? Those are all things you can just stop and pause and be thankful for. And that could just, even if minimally it improves your attitude, it's worth doing a practice like that on a regular basis. Over the years, in some of my videos, I've asked people to think about things that they're good at, focus on the positive aspects of their life and their skills and their talents. And sometimes people will leave comments, I'm not good at anything. I can't think of one thing. Everything in my life is crappy. I'm a failure. So if that's the case, and I don't mean to be overly lighthearted about this, but you could, at that instance, celebrate the fact that I'm really good at being a failure. It might sound silly, but can you embrace that? There's got to be something that is positive in your life or something to be grateful for, something you have accomplished if you really think about it. Focus on those memories and those times in your life. Maybe it was holding a baby. Maybe it was being with an animal or a puppy or a kitten. Maybe it was some time that you were out in nature and you just felt at ease and relaxed and connected to the universe. Tap into anything that will just make you feel a little bit better without denying whatever you're going through now, and see if it'll help raise your positivity or your vibration or just your outlook, even by a small increment. So I don't have all the answers here because everyone's perspective and circumstance and experience is going to be different, but I encourage you to find a balance, basically, is the bottom line here. Don't push down the negativity, the negative thoughts that you're having. Acknowledge that you're going through a rough time. Embrace it. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad about it. Know that it's okay and that you're not alone. Other people go through this all the time, and thousands, tens of millions of people are going through it right now. Seek out help. Have conversations with people by phone, by Skype or Zoom. Talk it out. So while you're acknowledging it, while you're feeling whatever that negative emotion is and not suppressing it, you can also take baby steps to be grateful, to remember the times when you were happy, to slowly start having an intention and an expectation that at some point when the time is right, you will slowly start to feel better and you'll inch your way up that scale of 1 to 10. Where today you might be a 3, tomorrow you'll be a 4. There may be a time when you're a 6 or a 7 next week and you may drop back down to 3 or 4. It's okay. We all do it. We do it throughout the day, throughout every hour. We may shift our position on that scale. But over time, by focusing on what you want in your life instead of what you don't want, by focusing on possibilities and opportunities instead of what's wrong, you can slowly but surely change that emotional set point to where you're settling at a higher and higher number on that scale. Many people have done it. It can be done, and you can do it too. So I hope this helps. It's okay not to be okay. And do your best to take baby steps to joy, to peace, to contentment, to happiness. This is Bob Baker, and I wish you the best. I hope we talk again soon. In the meantime, so long for now.